I feel like today's video might not be for everyone, but I know that everyone could benefit from it. And I want to talk a little bit about the challenge that I created and the challenge that I'm doing for myself. It originally was something that I was just going to do for me and by myself, but I was like, why not share it? Why not really talk about it? It's probably going to be interesting to a lot of people. And I thought, I think and feel and know that it very much is connected to Project Blissful Body. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you remember when I lost like 30-ish pounds a couple years ago when I was really into my fitness game. And I started it with a challenge. I started it with an Advocare challenge. But point being, I am someone who I love to challenge myself, mind, body, soul. And I had been listening to this podcast about something called a 75 hard, which I will have you guys give you, full grace, full swift kick in the tush to go listen to it. I talked about it on our close friends story, but if you have never heard of the 75 hard, I highly suggest you just simply look it up in your podcast app. Just type in 75 hard and you will see the podcast come up. It's called like the AF podcast or something, Andy something. But anywho, I got really inspired by this man who created something called a 75 hard. And long story short, that challenge, that program is very much in the masculine. And his biggest thing is like no modifications, no changes. So I said, Andy, I respect you. I respect that. I will not do a 75 hard and modify it to my way. But also, spoiler alert, I do think that after my challenge, I might do a 75 hard. I really do feel that. So, if you follow our Project Blissful Body Instagram, you have probably heard me all talking about the breakthrough to bliss. And I called it the breakthrough to bliss because it's 55 days. And the reason that I chose 55 days is because 5s are the angel number for change and transformation and healthy changes, healthy transformations and shifts and growth. So I chose 55 days because angel number 55. And it felt really symbolic to me. So I created my own sort of a little challenge, these 6 things, doing every single day for 55 days for not just like a physical challenge, not just a weight loss challenge like I did with the Advocare one, but really like a mind, body, soul challenge of showing up every day, doing things that feel good, doing things for your inner goddess, but also doing things for your health. And I personally have a lot of fitness goals right now. I have weight loss goals right now. I have like mental health goals right now. With everything going on, my anxiety has like never been more consistent, we can say, which is just very fair. It's also just like honoring that process too of like, yeah, you're allowed to like feel a lot of feelings right now. Like the world's going through some heavy stuff, So for 55 days, every single day, doing 11 minutes morning meditation and the inner goddess meditation. I have it uploaded in our IGTV on Project Blissful Body. So the meditation is already done. It's a guided meditation. The inner goddess gratitude practice, I took the journal prompts from Go Get 'Em Goddess Volume 2 and they seemed and felt very fitting. So doing those journal prompts every day, and then drinking a gallon of water every day, doing 30 minutes of a workout, having a 30-minute workout minimum, 10,000 steps, following a plan, so like no cheating, no cheat meals, no like refeed meals as he calls them, and just like you literally can choose any sort of plan, any sort of diet, whatever your goals are, literally whatever it may be, like if you'd always wanted to do like a medical medium cleanse, this is the perfect time. If you'd always wanted to like try a vegan diet, this is the perfect time. If you'd always wanted to, try WW, that's what I'm doing. And I chose to stick with WW or like a whole 30. Like I'm doing WW because I know it's something that I like doing. I know it's something that works. I know it's something that always makes me feel empowered by my choices, and you get in a certain number of points throughout the day. I have a whole video on here about WW, so you guys can go watch that, WW is just Weight Watchers. They rename themselves. But so no like cheating, you know what I mean? Like sticking to your plan, staying on your plan, no alcohol, and then drinking a gallon of water a day. All very doable things, all very easy things, all things that make you fucking feel good. What is hard, and like this is the thing, doing them is not hard. What's hard is like getting yourself to do them, convincing yourself to do them, and like when your ego is telling you that it's hard and you don't want to and you're just so tired and oh, you have all these things to do, it's just 30 minutes to go work out, or oh, it's just a couple more like laps around the block, or even just like playing around the house with your kids if you need to get some extra steps in. And you know, like the gallon of water thing, like all of us are so dehydrated. Like, oh my God, I had been slacking on my water so much. And then just like with, you know, the diet or whatever plan you choose, for me doing WW and like with Weight Watchers, it's like you get a blue dot for the day if you are within your healthy eating range, which is like, you know, within a couple points less than you're allowed and then a couple points more than you're allowed. And just really focused on not just the physical part, because it's not just the physical part, it's a mind, body, soul challenge and transformation and experience to show yourself what you really can do, to show yourself how much mental like strength you have, and how much like even on the days you don't want to do it, those are the days more like how many of us wake up and like want to meditate every day? None of us. Nobody wants to do it every single day, of course, but it's loving yourself enough, being devoted to this like version of you. And like, you know, some people were like, oh, like this challenge seems like an all or nothing sort of mentality. I thought you weren't about that, da 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 da. And it's like, no, for my whole human experience lifetime, in this lifetime, no, I'm not an all or nothing person, but also I'm an all or nothing person. I'm either showing up for my life and I'm not. And like, let's be real, the time is gonna pass anyway. It's just 55 days. These are all very easy things actually, and they're things that light me up. They're things that are gonna make me feel good. They're things that are getting me closer to my goals. They're things that are like helping me, not harming me. And nobody is going to harm themselves by drinking a gallon of water. Nobody is going to, you know, like regret doing a 30-minute workout. Nobody's going to regret like sticking on plan or saying no to alcohol. And, you know, really just looking at all these reasons that we think, oh, that would be too much, or oh, that would be too hard. It's like, that's more of a reason to do it, to prove to yourself, no, I can freaking do it. Of course I could do it. And I get to enjoy the experience of doing it. So I'm super excited. I was talking all about on Instagram doing it. And because I have been putting Project Blissful Body on here, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this. So I created a like check-in list for you guys if you want to do it with me. There's all the details over on Instagram, but I'm just like so excited because more than anything, this gets this gets to be a very empowering challenge. This gets to be a very empowering experience. Don't look at me like that, sir. I'm a spoken for woman. Spoken for myself. But you know, an empowering experience of like showing up even when it feels hard. It's like that one quote by Glennon Doyle, whatever her name is. Glennon, I know her name's Glennon. You can do hard things, and I feel like we live in a world that is so comfortable. We want the quickest answer, we want the easiest option, we want like instant results, and it's like that's not how things work sometimes. And really just like putting this work in and building this confidence, building this respect for yourself of like, I'm someone who doesn't break promises to myself. I am someone who shows up and does the work. And I am definitely someone who like can fall into the comfort trap, can fall into like just like, I very much like, it's so funny, like in YouTube, like people would always just say I'm lazy. It's like, I'm not lazy. If something does not feel good in my body, a lot of the time I just don't do it. And you know, that's really, of course, you know what's interesting though is that, so a perfect example is, I would say the past like maybe year and a half or two, I am very much someone who, there's not really any aspect of my life that does not feel good. And you know, with YouTube specifically, that was always something that just felt like a toxic relationship. So I'm glad we brought this up. But you know, I think I had a hard time sticking to it the same way, like when you're in a toxic relationship, you have a hard time like not thinking and sitting on and ruminating on all the things you know that aren't working and don't feel good in your body. So then you just kind of like avoid it or you cling to it, and like whole big thing. But point being is that I was very much someone who always fell into that comfort trap, and I have been like expanding beyond that. I'm just so proud of myself at like the person that I have become and all the things that I've done, and proving to myself that you don't have to be exhausted all the time. You don't have to like be this drained version of you to be successful, and you don't have to be like this version of you that's spreading yourself so thin with other partnerships, other relationships, other connections to consider like yourself happy or to have people around you. Like, you are allowed to feel good in your own life, even on like the hard moments, of course, like with wedding planning, with the house being renovated. Like, my partner and I, of course, we are not just like obsessed with each other 24/7. Like, we definitely have our moments, but it's even in those moments of being like, we are on the same team, and like it's like we're on the same team, and I am like committed to this, and I want to hear you, and I love you enough to like even love you more through this, and like know that these moments that seem hard, we are going to like get through it and be closer from it, in the sense of also things that like perfect example with the challenge. If there's a day you don't want to do your workout, or you're just like really in this like poor me mentality of like, I don't want to do this, I'm too tired, I just want to do this, and it's like, well, I love myself enough to be like, what's really going on? Like, what is really going on? How can I like support myself right now? How can I love myself right now? And sometimes instead of quitting, it's being like, okay, you're tired right now. Let's like, you get home from work, it's like 6 or 7. You like, give yourself 30 minutes to rest, cuddle up with your dog, your partner, whatever it may be. And then you just walk around your neighborhood. You get your steps in, and you consider your steps your workout. If you need days like that sometimes, that's fine. Is that how I am approaching the challenge? No, I am doing my 10,000 steps outside a 30-minute workout. And just knowing and choosing that that's just what my like inner goddess is craving right now. She is craving more devotion. I am wanting a challenge. I am wanting to build and expand to deeper levels of confidence, in the sense of like respect for myself, respect of what I can handle, what I can do, what I can push through, like really building this mental toughness, in the sense of not always just jumping to the defensive or jumping in like the state of ego or being hard and like push in the sense of the masculine in that way in life, but just being like, I can handle a lot of shit. Like, does that make sense? Like, really proving to yourself and showing yourself like what you are capable of. If we're just always taking the easy way out, if we're always just quitting things, if we're always like having excuses up the ass, like if we are always doing that, of course we have a problem. Like, we have an issue loving ourselves. Of course we have an issue like having confidence within ourselves, because we feel that like no matter what, we just don't show up. Like, we're just not we're not someone who like does these things. We're not someone who good things happen to. It's like, you are someone who good shit happens to. You just need to believe it and show up for it. It's like I teach in I think it was Go Get 'Em Goddess Volume 1, where I was saying that miracles are always flowing to you, but are you accepting them, or are you blocking them? Good shit is always happening to us. Support is always around us, but are you shutting it down? And perfect example is like, in this moment, the only thing you should be shutting down is your ego, is your like fear and idea that you can't do it, you can't handle it, it's too much, you just quit. It's like the only problem, the only actual like block in this situation is you already convincing yourself that there's like something wrong with you wanting to do this, or that you're already going to fail. And with that, I love you guys so much. I think I'm also going to upload this maybe to our Project Blissful Body Instagram. But more Project Blissful Body and 55 Breakthrough to Bliss challenge vlogs will be coming. Make sure to let me know down below what you guys want to see in the challenge. Let me know if you have questions about it, but also, if you're not interested, that's totally fine too. This is totally something that I am just doing for myself, but I thought it'd be so fun to talk about because I got so many questions on the old IG. Make sure to follow our Project Blissful Body Instagram. I love you so much. Have a blissful mother effing day.